Hi everyone, welcome back to Burnout Help, Stress and Burnout First Aid. I am Eric, I'm a stress and burnout coach in Berlin, Germany, and this is my channel where I try to give you valuable information on everything related to stress and burnout, based on my own experiences, not only as a coach, but also as a person who has experienced burnout twice with pretty severe symptoms. So today I would like to speak to you about the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is a nerve that runs from the back of our skull and goes through pretty much our entire body. And it is connected to a lot of different organs. Now, the vagus nerve plays a very important role in the sense that it is involved in a lot of our parasympathetic and sympathetic response. It goes through our throat, it goes through our stomach, it is involved in heartbeat regulation, it goes through our abdomen into the colon, and as mentioned, it is therefore involved in a lot of our reactions connected to stress. Specifically, ideally, if you have a vagus nerve that is, as they call it, toned, well toned, it means that you are able to create an effective parasympathetic response. That means that you are able to relax your system. If you are somebody who is chronically stressed and is kind of or has or is losing the ability to regulate the nervous system, that is, to invoke the parasympathetic response. If you are someone who is chronically stressed, that means that your sympathetic nervous system is constantly activated, which means that your vagus nerve is losing its ability to do its job. Now, I'm not saying that you can easily just blame the vagus nerve for your own inability to regulate your nervous system. So, what does it mean to have an undertone vagus nerve? Well, it means that you have a poor digestion. It means that perhaps you have skip beats in your heart, or palpitations as they call them. It means that you are suffering from migraines or that you are very, very tired. So the vagus nerve plays a role in the regulation of all this, but the vagus nerve actually goes beyond all of this and plays an important role in your ability to relax and to feel safe and connected in the world. And feeling safe and feeling connected are two key ingredients in your ability to regulate your nervous system and to come out of chronic stress. And here I'd like to point you towards the work of Stephen Porges on this, who is the founder of the polyvagal theory and who explains this in much more detail and much better than I can. So the vagus nerve is your friend if you want to learn how to control your stress response. Learn to tone your vagus nerve in order to increase your response. How do you tone your vagus nerve? There are many different ways. Some of them involve better breathing. Now, we spoke about breathing a little bit before, making sure that you exhale longer than you inhale, for example. That's one of the ways of breathing. Other ways to tone your vagus nerve is to hum, or to chant, or to gargle. Why? Because the vagus nerve goes through here, next to your vocal cords. There's an evolutionary reason why it is involved in sound, in the creation of sound, of soothing sounds, for example. So there's a reason why your vagus nerve goes through here, and it has to do with being social, being connected, feeling safe. So if you do exercises that involve your vocal cords, chances are you are toning your vagus nerve. Other ways to tone your vagus nerve? Cold exposure, cold showers, cold bath. That really does tend to tone the vagus nerve. There are other things you can do. There are exercises from a man named Rosenberg. You can look it up, Rosenberg vagus nerve, and he recommends exercises such as, for example, holding your head straight and then turning your eyes to the side so your head remains straight, your neck remains straight, but your eyes are looking to one side for about 1 minute or 40 seconds, or perhaps even a bit longer. If you start yawning, as I am now, it usually triggers a yawning reaction, which is a good sign. And then what you want to do is, after a while, you want to go in the other direction and do this with your eyes. And there are other exercises from him that you can look up. And a little bit of this every day will tone your vagus nerve. I mentioned breathing. I will state it again. Breathing is an amazing way to tone your vagus nerve. And here I'd like to point you in the direction of what they call biofeedback. You can even connect it to heart rate variability. There are some apps that you can use in order to breathe, to increase your heart rate variability, which is itself connected to your vagus nerve. So there are many ways. I will do a video at some point on one of these methods and go into more detail, but this is an overview of the vagus nerve. Perhaps one last thing I want to mention, which I failed to mention earlier. The vagus nerve is the communication channel for a lot of the signals, or most of the signals, in your body, in your being, about stress. It sends signals down to your gut, from your brain to your gut, from your brain to your heart, but also back from your gut to your heart, from your gut to your brain, from everywhere in the body. The vagus nerve is where those signals communicate. So if you have a vagus nerve which is undertone, the communication is not going to be effective, or it's not going to be the right kind of communication. So you want to make sure that your vagus nerve is healthy, and you want to make sure that you're toning your vagus nerve. This will help you manage stress better. Okay, I hope this was useful, and I'll see you soon.